All right, so here's what we're going to do. We have Wroth. This is our 2 to 4 player area control game. It also has a 1 to 4 player cooperative mode. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to start in these 4 deployment zones, and the goal is to move our troops onto the board, and we're essentially battling for supremacy over these 8 zones. If you'll see, they're marked with a number. We will randomly put a victory point token on each zone before the game begins, and essentially that means every round that zone is worth that many victory points. The way that we score victory points is we're going to try to move our troops onto all these zones and have the majority in each region to score victory points. At the end of the round, if I have the most troops in a zone, I get that many victory points. If, for example, White had a character in here, I would get 1 victory point on this chip. If I control the zone uncontested, I get whatever's on the chip plus an additional victory point. We're essentially racing to 30 victory points over here. First to 30 is going to win. How do we move our troops? Well, we're going to do a dice draft. So every turn, the active player is going to roll all these action dice into here, and we're going to take one at a time until there's only 1 die left in the tray. The remaining die is going to go to the last place person in victory point total. If there's a tie, nobody gets that extra action die. It's essentially the catch-up mechanic. There are 4 actions that we can take while we're playing the game. We have our attack action, which means that we can attack a zone that we occupy or are adjacent to. So if White had a player in here, I could actually do 1 damage to that as well. All of your little units have 1 health. So all of the orange, pink, white, and green units, and red as well, 1 health. You will have elite units, which are represented by dice on your player map. Now those have more than 1 health. They will have 2 to 5 depending on which faction you're playing and which troop you buy. All 5 factions are asymmetric, so you're going to have a different gameplay experience with each faction. One of the actions you can take is called gaining a Cora, which are these green little minerals over here, and that's the resource that we're going to be managing for the game. We use the Cora on our turn to buy our elite troops, and the cost is going to be in the top left corner. All 5 factions are going to have different troops that they can buy, just based on their own flavor. The other 2 actions that we can take are both going to be deployment actions. This little red action means that I can deploy 2 troops into any zone that I occupy. This blue deployment action means that I can deploy 2 basic troops into my deployment zone, or alternatively, I can move 2 troops from one zone to an adjacent zone. Those are our 4 actions that we will be drafting throughout the game, and those are really the core mechanics of the game. The only other thing is that every faction is going to have 3 ability cards to choose from when the game starts. You will choose this ability and be able to use it on your turn throughout the game. The other 2 go back into the box. Other than that, everything that you're going to need is on this reference card. It has your turn order. For the co-op version, it has the AI turn order. And then on the back, we have all of our little representations of our icons, so you have all that information. Very simple game when it comes down to it. Once you've played a few turns, you'll really get into it. It really flies. For Chip Theory, this is the lightest game that we've made in our Prime catalog. If you compare it to Too Many Bones, Hoplomachus, Elder Scrolls, Burn Cycle, Cloudspire, etc., this is the only game I can actually say is light. You could break it out on a Wednesday night kind of deal. Beyond that, you guys have any questions? Perfect. So that's Wroth, guys.